Welcome back, everybody. In this section, we will learn about functions. I hope after you learn a function, you will really love functions. Maybe you may tell me what's function? What do you think about function? I have to create a file called functions.py, and all the functions, examples, and problems will be on this file. So what's a function, guys? Tell me, what is a function? What do you think about it? Just from the word itself. Actually, it's a set of code, some sort of operation. Yes, some sort of operation. Actually, it's a function is a set of a block of codes, a block
instructions
of codes that allow us to do some operations. Yeah, that is. So it's a list of codes or a block of codes. Instead of writing, for instance, if you go to the revision, instead of writing code like this, we can change it to a function. We can change it to a function, and we can change it to a function, and that allow us to do a single operation. And the purpose, what's the purpose? What is the purpose of functions? Okay, what's the purpose of functions? You tell me.
Follow the instructions.
Yeah, but the purpose is actually it to get the result. Is that's good, you get the result, but it if you have a function, it is easy to reuse. You can create one function and you can reuse that function. It is easy to, is someone who is a tester in here? Someone who is using a tester. It is easy to test. Yes. Now, how do we create a function? How do we create a function? I think before I show you how to create a function using Python, I want to show you something, and maybe my drawing might not be good, but let's try. Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm just using the, what about if I just create something like this? Yeah, and maybe something like this, and we have here an input, and an output could be coming from here. Oh yeah, such a lovely machine over here. So this machine can take A and B over here, and we may have some operation, A plus B. Have you seen this? Maybe if I give for A is equal to 3, and for B, if I give it 5, what do you think the value, the output over here?
8.
8. So I think by now it's so easy to see the role of a function. So whenever I want to add something, I call this function, hey, my machine, please could you add 2 numbers? So have you seen the inputs? So function should have an input. It may or may not have an input. In our case, what are our inputs?
A and B.
Yes, A and B. And then inside the block code, we have some operation. We are actually returning this return the result. So returning the result, how do I move this value? We are returning this value. Return means like saving the value. After processing, we return and we get the value over here, as you can see. Yeah, so we call these values parameters. Parameters. A and B are parameters. So let's repeat this example using Python code. Yeah. First, I have to remove this. And now let's create actually a Python function. So I may say, this is how you create a function. First, you have to use the word def all the time, whenever, and add two numbers. So this is the name of the function. And you need this parentheses. In the parentheses, you should pass A and B. We call them parameters. They are like a placeholders. And then I can say print A plus B. Then how do I call this function? To call a function, for instance, you guys do have name, right? If I call you by name, you should say yes. Likewise here, add two numbers as a function. I am calling to add 3 and 1, and I'm expecting some number. What do you expect from this? Four. And did I tell you that we can reuse the function? Yes, this is the power. So 3 with 3 plus 1, 3 plus 7, or 3 plus 97, 97, or maybe 3 plus 22. Let's see. Yeah, 1 plus 3 plus 1, 4, 3 plus 7, 10, 3 plus 97, 100, 3 plus 22, 25. Yep. So our function is actually working properly. But usually, if you don't return a value, it's not a good idea. You are not actually saving a value to that function. So we should return like this. We do the operation and we should return. That means we are actually storing data into the function. If we don't return a value from a function by default, the return value of that function is actually none. So now we have to also add print now for this. I have to add print like this, and I have to go all the way the other side. Yeah, now let's print. Why? It says oh, it's by mistake here. There's, sorry. Yeah, great. Now let's create a function that print full name. Def print full name. It should take first name and the last name of someone. Okay, then it should return first name plus, there should be space in between, and last name of someone. And then you can print, like you can call this print and then print full name. Now let's check Donald and Donald, and I think Trump, and we should get Donald Trump, as in, oh yeah, we can reuse these values as many times as we want. And if you just change this to Barack Obama, and if you change this to Bills and Gates, whatever, then Steve and Jobs. Okay, let's see. as you can see, you just create people's full name with this function. Oh yeah. Now, do you remember when we try to solve these evens, all nums? Yeah, let's do a function called def sum all nums. Oh yeah. So the sum of all nums, we may say, for instance, before we do the function, let's do it without. For I in range, did I tell you that up to 101 and print, and actually we can say total, and we can start from 0, and then again what we say, total is equal to total plus every time the I. And then if you print at the end the total, and you may see actually 5050, but we can change this to a function. Let's change it to a function now. So we can just take this value inside the function, and we have to indent, and then we have to return the total. And now, as you can see, this only sum from 0 to 100, but we never know, the user may change. Maybe you want to sum from 0 to 50, 0 to 25, or 0 to 1000, no one knows. So we can accept n. So we have to make it inclusive and total. And actually, this is beautiful. And actually, we can also make this shorter, another shorter way of writing the same thing, plus, and every time we can just add something like this. Then let's see, print sum of all nums. Let's make it 5. The sum of all numbers up to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I can see this together. 1 and 2, 3, 6, 10, and 15. Let's try. Yes, it's 15, yeah? And again, the sum of 10, then I think up to that, you should see 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 itself, but I'm not doing that, okay? No, 55. And then if you want to even make it bigger, you can say print the sum of all numbers from 0 to 1001, up to 1000. 1000. I don't know myself, and it seems that this is. Oh yeah, great. This function, guys, maybe if there's something I can include in here. So as you can see, this is how you declare a function. You use the name of the reserved word def, and then the name of the function in parentheses. And your function may or may not have a parameter. If you don't have a parameter, you will not have also an argument when you call it. This is how you call it. If you gave it function name, and you can call it also by the same name. Yeah, you got a name given by your family, and you will be called by your name. The same goes in here, okay? No magic. Oh yeah, great. Returning a function value, yeah, we should return something. If not, actually, then we are not actually storing anything in the function. I may, okay, returning a function, now I may just talk about default parameters. How about if I ask you calculate the area of a circle, right? And maybe you can say def calculate a circle area, and then what is radius most of the time, right? We have this radius, and we can just return the value. Maybe you can calculate area, like this area, and then I think 3.14 times radius, and then you can return the area like this. Yep. So then you can go all the way down and print area of, calculate the area of 10-meter radius. And then it could be, I don't know, 100, about 314, right? Yeah, as you can see, 314. And how about it's 50? You never know. So let's see. And it's like 7,850 square meter if it's in meter. So if it's kilometer, it would be in square kilometer. Great. Then maybe now if I ask you to calculate the weight of an object, i.e. in any planet. Okay, maybe you can say def calculate weight. And then you may say, well, to calculate the weight, we need actually, the calculation goes usually mass of an object times gravity, right? So we may say, okay, first I have to have the mass and I have to have the gravity then from any input. Then you may say return, maybe you can calculate just first weight and then mass and then gravity. Then you can return the weight. Yeah, this is as simple as it. And then you may just print, calculate weight. For instance, my weight 75 and on the planet Earth 9.81. But you know, my weight in Mars or Moon could be different. As you can see, let's see a gravitational force. Gravity on different planets. I think I should see how do we weight planets. Maybe I can just get some rough data. Yeah, I think this is good. As you can see, the gravity here, gravity of Mercury, gravity of Venus and Earth, 9.8. For instance, let's take Moon, 1.6. Oh yeah, how is my weight in Moon? Print, calculate the weight, and 75 remain the same, but 1.6, is there some number? 6.5 or something? Or just 6, 1.6. Yeah, that's too little. So as you can see, the weight is much lighter than on planet Earth. But sometimes most of us, we do not go to other planetary objects. So let's give this a default 9.81. So then if you have a default parameters, you don't have to do this. You don't have to. But now in Moon, the gravity is different. I have to give a value there. Yeah. And then let's do print calculate and mass again 75. And let's check what is the gravity on Mars, 3.7, much better than the Moon, 3.7. And then let's see. Oh yeah. So now we have seen also how to pass a default parameter. Nice. Let's move on. Arbitrary number of arguments. Sometimes I may ask you a function that some numbers. So you may have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You never know how much you have. So in that, how many arguments you never know. Like for instance, the print built-in function can take many arguments, right? Or the print this, print true, print list, or maybe a list 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter if you pass to this. It does actually. Now let's do a function called sum numbers. So you never know how many numbers. And actually we can use the dot and then args. Of course, the args could be anything, but it's common to call it args. And then print args. I will show you what the args has. So, but before that, let's call the nums some numbers. How about if I just call it and see what we have there? Oh, what did you see, guys? Tuple, empty tuple, right? This, the star, change it to tuple. If I pass anything here, you will see it as a tuple over there. Oh yeah, and then now if I pass 2, then it's printed as in, okay, then how about if I pass 2 again, 4, 9, and maybe 10. Let's see. Yeah, tuples. So that means I can loop through, but before that, total is 0 and 4. What is that symbol? Let's 4I or num in args, then actually total, and this with plus shortcut in, and then we can print, we can return the total. Now I have used the star to change or to pack anything to any arguments to tuples. And so I have to print this to get the value. Print. Yeah, as you can see, it's 28. Let's see, 4 and 4, actually 8, 9, 18, and 28. Great. So that's the arbitrary number of arguments, or so you can use this. That's the step I was trying to show. And you can have arbitrary at the same time. Also, you may have additional values in the left or the right. So for instance, what I'm trying to show over here, arbitrary argument and then team. Print the team. Okay, for instance, numbers. You may call here numbers, integers. I can call this value, okay, some value. And then I have to pass for that some argument here. Yeah, and then I can print it over here. Print, we can pass and plus the value. So it's possible to, as you can see, we can pass some argument and it's just the total. So yeah, I think that's what you need to know about functions. And there's quite lots of functions, demanding functions. Yes, but how about if I ask you there's on the set or tuples, I don't know where, but list of countries. Yeah, we have this one. Of course, in function, you have this method print countries dot reverse. You can reverse now print and countries. Now it's reversed, then it should start from Iceland. But if I get too stubborn and if hey guys, I don't want you to use a built-in method, but I want you to reverse this using your own function. So this is how. Do a def reverse. So it should take a list. And then we should have a way to do this reversing. Yeah, first, without a function, let's do the possible way of doing this. Okay, let's ignore this. So for I think the easy way it would be for I in range lengths of the countries, as you can see. And then let's print VI. I will show you step by step. It may take me some time. As you can see, I printed from 0 to 4. But you guys, I think, what is the last item? It's 4, right? It starts from 4. So instead, we have to have this as in a starting point. The length should be the starting point. And then where do we should stop? We should stop at 0, but we can say -1. So now let's see what? And of course, the increment also should be -1 every time. As you can see now, I'm actually printing out from 5 to 0, but how many do we have? 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of the lengths, even I have to subtract 1 now from this. As you can see now, I have a proper. Yeah, and if you pass countries and VI, you may see the reverse order, Iceland to Finland. Now you may say reversed countries, an empty list, and copy this, and then again, dot, of course, append. Then we can put, and we don't need this. By now, I can just take this value inside my function and turn it on. And of course, we have to. Now, instead of countries, I have to call it a list. And this should be also, now because generic reverse function, reversed list, I can also call it reversed list. Then it would be generic. It would work for everything. Reversed list, and this also should be just list. Yeah, now after that, I can return the reversed list. And let's try to pass print reverse function. And I think the name is not good. Reverse list function should be much better. Reverse list function could be very good, or just reverse list. Somewhere the name is not good, right? List. Okay, great. Now let me pass countries here and see what we have. Oh, what? None? I reversed. Let's try it again. Why? Yes. Yeah.
Don't you need return, the word return?
Sorry. I didn't see that. I just now, yeah, thanks. Yes, now we have this. But how about if we have also just another reverse list? And if you have just a kind of some number also, 3, 5, 6, and 9. Let's see, this should be also 9653, 9653 reversed. So now we made a function. We can make use of this function. We can keep it in some file and we can make use of that. So I think this is good enough lesson for function. What is expected from you is practicing the exercise. There are lots of beautiful exercise that boost your function knowledge, and do those. Reverse list, actually. I did this one already, so you don't have to worry about it. And there's quadratic equation, is calculation of this, and temperature conversion in this. We solve it together, add two numbers, you have it already. So we did some of the functions already together. Okay, we have completed the function